as we come towards the final few corners. Fernando, he's going to cover the inside. Jensen goes to the outside. This is going to be so close. Hello everybody, welcome to the WTF1 alternative commentary of the Indianapolis 500 for the Race All-Star Series Legend Trophy. Here we go then. Petter Solberg is on pole position for the start of this race, although we know that pole position really doesn't mean anything at the Indy 500. Button alongside, then Servia, Alonso, Franchitti, Fernandez, Jordan, Magnussen, Montero and Pirro, your top 10 as we are going racing. And Fernando gets slightly caught off guard there and has already lost a position, it looks like, to Franchitti as we then go over the line to start the 20 minutes of this Indianapolis 500. Solberg leads the way, but Tommy, being first is not the way you really want to be at the start of a race.
No, exactly not. Everyone's going to get that juicy suck, as you said in the last one, and it's all about slipstream. So you not necessarily want to be leading the whole race. People may choose to work together because obviously you can get...
Oh my God! What on earth has happened to me? Was that Fernandez has just ended up? I don't know where he ended. Oh, this big collision in the background. It was all looking so good. Oh, goodness me. It feels like it's 17 minutes and 50 seconds to go, guys. Calm yourselves down. I would be petrified.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness me. Who is that upside down?
I think that was Servia by the look of disappointment in the bottom.
Yeah. That's Oriol Servia upside down over the finish line there. Yeah, as you can see, completely has fallen out of the running, down to P15 now. There he is, Mario Andretti. What an absolute hero.
Incredible. 80 years old.
Great to see. Fully dialed in. Doesn't even need headphones. Forget that. He probably has it coming out the television. That is just brilliant stuff to see. And he had the pace of the leaders. The pace and the concentration, consistency is there. Unfortunately that he got caught up in the first few laps, but great to have Mario Andretti in this series.
Absolutely. And remember, we do have a reverse grid race, even though we wouldn't normally get that at the Indy 500, but as is traditional in this Legends Trophy, we'll get a reverse grid race, so hopefully we'll see Mario at the front for that one. Will we see Jensen letting off a little bit to let Fernando through? Oh, exactly. Fernando now goes to the inside. They go side by side. We have 1 minute and 40 to go. And Fernando Alonso looks like he's decided he wants to take the lead. Now, is he... oh, my, there's a car upside down they have to avoid, which they have done beautifully. Jensen Button now in the slipstream. Fernando going extremely defensive on the slipstream there, trying to break the toe as much as he possibly can. And we probably have just over 2 laps to go. So 3 laps is my estimation with the amount of time left. Yeah, Fernando, it looks like he fancies leading this, and he's doing the Indy 500 tactic, which is to run very wide on the final corner and then you cut in almost like you're going into the pits.
But Jensen comes back at him up the inside. This is the fight for the victory here at the Indy 500, the Race Legends Trophy. Jensen Button takes the lead again. Oh, I can't work it out. I don't know whether they want to be leading or not. It's fascinating to watch. It has been a slow build-up, it has to be said. But now, 41 seconds to go, and it's a lap of 34 seconds. We do have 2 laps to go here. And Fernando Alonso trails once again in the slipstream. Oh, it's going to be close.
Oh, I can't call this one. It's so hard to judge where you want to be on the final lap.
39.4 actually for personal best. So this is going to be very close as to whether or not this is going to be the final lap.
Yeah, I think they'll get 1 more lap after this one, I believe. So
1 more lap after this. Okay,
yes.
We'll take your word for it, Tommy. Jensen Button continues to lead. Fernando Alonso moving to the outside to then cut on the inside and get the slipstream, get the overspeed. Jensen has a little moment, which is going to affect his momentum going on to the last lap. This could be crucial, Tommy.
It is. Jensen Button had a huge swap on then. He was very lucky he saved it because that would have been absolutely huge, and he might have even taken Fernando out with him. But here we are on the final lap.
The slipstream once again.
It's
no
coming
seconds
down to the last
to go.
lap.
This is the final lap. And Jensen looks like he's just a little bit out of shape, if I'm honest. As we come towards the final few corners, Fernando, he's going to cover the inside. Jensen goes to the outside. This is going to be so close.
Incredible. Jensen needs to make sure he stays wide so he gets a huge slipstream. But he's almost too close to get a slipstream. Here we go.
Too close. Here we go round the final corner, I believe. This is towards the line, and it looks like Fernando Alonso is going to take the victory, or is he? Jensen to the line. Oh, it's so close. close. But Fernando Alonso takes the win by 0.034 or whatever it was of a second. And that was about as close as we expected. And I think, really, you wanted to be the trailing car going into that. But Jensen just got a little bit out of shape, couldn't really position his car properly. Magnussen finishes P3, Montero P4, and Tony Kanaan in P5. Michel Jourdain looked very close as well, fighting for P12 with Dario Franchitti. But wow, that was about as close as you can get, really.
0.037 I think it was at the line, and yeah, like you say, Jenson Button, he almost got too close going into the final corner. He needed to kind of save that slipstream almost halfway round the final corner, but it was very, very close. It's such fine margins to get it right. Is this a replay? Here we go, across the line.
Yeah, fantastic to watch. As you say, replay towards the line, but unfortunately for Jenson, the finish line came just that little bit too early. My goodness me. Jenson had that in the bag, I think. But a scruffy end of the penultimate lap. Really, well, it didn't really affect him too much because he got onto the back of Fernando again, but just couldn't position his car to the ideal sort of diving in and getting that momentum around the final bend. But there you go. There is the classification. Alonso, Button, Magnussen, your podium winners. Then we got Montero, Kanaan, Turner, Brabham, Solberg, which is, to be fair, Petter Solberg. Brilliant result from him, considering his driving style is the complete opposite of what you expect at the Indy 500. And then Scott Pruitt, who I don't think we actually mentioned, and Tom Coronel in the top 10. Lovely stuff, eh, Tommy?
Lovely stuff. And now it's time for something very unusual, the reverse grid at Indy.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Reverse grid time for the Indy 500, the Race Legends Trophy. My name's Matthew Callaghan, join me once again. Tommy, you've gone nowhere. It's the reverse grid race. We have Mika Salo on pole position, who is going to be in that leading pack. We get underway here for the reverse grid race here for the Indy 500. Mika Salo leads them away down towards turn 1. We don't have anyone upside down just yet, but Mario Andretti hits the wall in the top right-hand side of the screen, loses momentum, but is still very much facing the right way. Salo loses the lead to Servia, but that doesn't really matter too much at this stage. It's just jostling for position, making sure you're in that lead pack. And right now, Andretti, 21st, and I'm seeing a little bit of a gap that he doesn't want to see forming.
I think that's a glitch there with Servia. It looks like Salo's still ahead, and he's definitely not 15 seconds behind unless Servia had got the greatest start of all time. So
that's
I'm
very
assuming
true. That's incredibly
that
confusing. Thank you so much for the clarification there, Tommy. So Salo is indeed leading, and Herta now goes to the outside to try and take the lead. And Emerson Fittipaldi has all sorts of incidents in the top right-hand side of your screen. Somehow Emerson gets away with it. Oh my goodness me, who's that just came into shot and somehow landed on their four wheels the right way? That was ridiculous to watch as we now turn our attention back to the lead. Salo, Liuzzi, Herta and Brabham, your top 4. Let's have a look and see where the rest...
Fernando Alonso, 7th already. Unbelievable.
Alonso, P7, as you say. I was just trying to see who's made the most places. It's Fernando Alonso by a country mile. Jenson Button, his closest rival last time, only P13 off the start. So Alonso, a huge, huge effort. But he is not in that leading pack right now. Here we have it, the top 6, separated by half a second.
Questionable bit of bump drafting there from Alonso in the top right corner, which you're not allowed to do. Saw Montoya doing that as well. So yeah, Steward's looking away at that point by the look of it, but he is catching them.
Salo still leads from David Brabham, Antonio Liuzzi and Brian Herta. Castroneves falling off just slightly, a second back, which is going to allow Montero and Alonso to get that je suis suck and back into... Oh, goodness me, someone's gone into the wall there. Was that Castroneves? I think it was indeed. And there's a car spinning as well. Alonso's up to P5 now, as that's Herta's been involved in an incident. And all of a sudden, Alonso's in the lead pack and is going to go round the outside of Liuzzi and it's up into P3 already.
Incredible. Castroneves seemed to lose it in a straight line there, which not what you expect from a 3-time Indy 500 winner. But he's somehow managed to get back on the back of Liuzzi, so I don't know how he's done that.
Right, Brabham and Salo, you've got to get your thinking caps on now. You've got to work together, otherwise you're going to have Fernando Alonso, Montero, Antonio Liuzzi, Castroneves all breathing down your neck. Do what Button and Alonso did in the first race, Salo and Brabham. Just use each other, Slipstream away, don't battle until the end, but somehow I don't think that's going to happen. Alonso could probably be getting some sort of slipstream even from back there. So this 2-horse fight could very much turn into a 6. 21st on the grid to P3. We still have just under 16 minutes remaining in this race. There is more than enough time for Fernando Alonso to catch Salo, and in fact that gap is now coming down to 1.1 seconds. Make that 1 second. Fernando Alonso is arriving and he wants his back-to-back victories.
Unbelievable. I cannot believe Brabham and Salo have managed to lose this lead already. They're obviously not working as well together as what Jenson Button and Alonso did. Oh, huge moment.
Oh my goodness me. Is that's Liuzzi and
Castroneves again.
Castroneves using each other as some sort of bouncy castle there, which was rather strange to watch, but they both seem to get away with it just about. They've fallen off the back of Montero slightly, but they're still very much in P6 and 7, and here we are. Brabham, Salo, Alonso, your top 3.
Alonso's there already, here we go.
I think the beauty of this is that Fernando Alonso, even if he does take the lead, probably won't be able to break away, but he's having a very good look there to see if there's some sort of line through the middle, but he thinks better of it and continues on in P3. Montero right behind, his little wingman that brought him into this fight at the front, and he's very much still there as well. So don't count Montero out just yet, but this fight has become a 4-horse race for the victory, unless Castroneves, who is currently in a world of his own, can catch on to the back of this field.
Yeah, never say never with Castroneves. He, like I say, is a 3-time Indy 500 winner, but unfortunately he's all out on his own, while these 3 have plenty of slipstream to share around between them all.
Fernando Alonso is going to take the lead for the first time. 14 minutes left and 11 seconds to go. And Alonso takes the lead. This is ridiculous to watch. Jenson Button can only manage 9th at the moment. 19 seconds almost off the race lead. He's fighting with Juan Pablo Montoya and Jason Plato. We've got Emerson Fittipaldi still running in P13, so it's a pretty decent drive from the 73-year-old spring chicken. Now that we've got an older 80-year-old compatriot on the grid as well, of Mario Andretti. But yeah, this fight's still going to continue on, but Fernando Alonso crucially knows how to win already.
He does, and it's going to be interesting to see how Alonso works with 3 cars around him. Like we said in the last one, it was a huge... Oh, that was a big moment.
Oh, goodness me, Fernando, you very much put all your eggs in one basket with that bit of grass there and just thought, well, goodness me, that could have ended in tears.
What
but
a
fortunately, he used the side of another one's car in order to straighten himself up. Exactly. I think without having so many cars around him, Tommy, that could have ended in absolute tears.
Yeah, they helped him. Just as I was saying, will it help him having loads of cars around him? It very much did there.
And it looks like Brabham is falling off the back after that contact, because I think it was Fernando that made that contact with David Brabham. So Brabham's falling out of the slipstream. That means we've got Salo, Montero and Alonso, all former F1 drivers, fighting for the Indy 500, Tommy. What is this?
Incredible. Montero, of course, got his only F1 podium at Indianapolis in that race that we shall not speak of, 2005, with the Michelin controversy. But he's up the front. Was that your
random fact?
It can be my random fact if you so wish.
I want another random fact, Tommy. Have you got one ready?
Okay, I've got one.
Oh goodness me! That's Salo. No, Brabham.
Yes,
is that Brabham?
No. Serbia.
Who was that? Serbia?
I'm very confused.
Wait, where did Serbia come from?
I don't know, but he's obviously glitched somehow, and he's now back in the race, but behind. But now it looks like a 2-horse race between Montero and Alonso.
Montero, Brabham. That timing glitch really was throwing all sorts of rather strange, confusing moments for me there. But it is Alonso, Montero, Brabham, the top 3, and it looks like it is very much now a 2-horse race with 11 minutes and 48 seconds remaining, unless Brabham can get back onto the back of this front duo.
Yeah, that was very confusing what Serbia was doing there. He just suddenly appeared back in the pack, but at least he is now, no offence to the guy, gone, so we can actually see the order.
Savage. Absolutely savage indeed. So yeah, sorry Tommy, you were saying about your random fact.
So Emerson Fittipaldi is obviously one of the drivers that is very much a fan favourite and our favourite in this series. I don't think we hide that at all.
No, not at all.
But he is actually quite a controversial figure at Indianapolis. And that is because in 1993, when he won the race, he drank orange juice instead of the traditional milk. And it was...
Why? Why did he do that?
Apparently in Brazil, they have a lot of citrus fruit, and he wanted to promote the citrus industry and drunk orange juice instead of milk. And
that went down really badly.
Very badly. He was actually booed at the next race, and people still hold a grudge against him for doing it, and sometimes boo him at the Indy 500.
The man just wanted some vitamin C, and he gets absolutely shafted for it. That's shocking. However, let's cast our minds back to the race here, as David Brabham has brought himself very nicely back into this fight for the lead. Somehow, clearly getting some sort of slipstream from over a second back, has brought himself into the fight for the victory. Alonso Montero clearly working together. They know what they're doing. Is David Brabham going to add to this working together sort of strategy that they've got? No, in fact, he's going to get an almighty swapper on, and all of his good work has now been undone again. Can he now catch back up to this front two? That is the question. He's done it once before, but those kind of mistakes you're not going to be able to win.
No, it shows just how far back you can be, though, to get a slipstream. He was a good few seconds behind. Still managed to get the slipstream off the front two, but yeah, all his hard work undone immediately.
We need to give a quick shout out. Jenson Button, 3.5 seconds back in P4 now.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
He has made some serious moves up the field whilst we've been focusing on the battle for the lead, and he is not that far back to say that he is out of this race, because if he gets a bit of slipstream from David Brabham, he will then be able to potentially close in to Alonso Montero. So don't count Button out yet. If he and Castroneves can work together, and Castroneves is a veteran of Indy, I'm sure he knows exactly what to do to close up. He wanted a pal, he's got a pal. What can Jenson Button and Castroneves do?
Brabham could be the key to those drivers catching up, because he's sort of in no man's land. So it's whether Brabham is going to catch Montero and Alonso and work with them, or drop back to Button and Castroneves and help them. So that's
looks
very
like he's falling back, to be honest, Tommy, to answer your question. 1.2 seconds to Button, which is definitely Juicy Suck territory. Don't know why I'm giving it some sort of French like jus. Either way, I'm sure people appreciated the term last time, so it's been dropped into commentary a few times this time. Especially Indy, I'm pretty sure it's known as the home of Juicy Suck.
It is the Juicy Suck 500.
Okay,
but there's my random fact.
It's going to be rebranded that after this episode. Button will want revenge if he does catch up. He can see these two fighting away. Or not fighting, working together as much as they possibly can, but the gap is coming down. 3 seconds now from Brabham to Alonso. Got to keep an eye on those intervals, because a three-way suck is better than a two-way suck. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. They need to... they probably need to be within maybe a couple of seconds, a second and a half, before they can get the suck from Montero.
Oh, God. I can't even say it with a straight face anymore now. Montero takes the lead. 6 minutes and 51 seconds remaining of this Indy 500. 2.8 seconds the gap. The gap is coming down. Is it coming down enough? The gap's now 1.9 seconds. I'm getting excited, Tommy.
Come on, Jenson. He's so close now, but again, he just needs Brabham and Castroneves to maybe accidentally bump him on his way without the stewards looking.
Just do it. Alonso's done it without really any kind of hiding. It's now 1.6 seconds. Button's actually dropped down to P5. Brabham, P3, 1.7 seconds back. Castroneves, 2.3. So Button has been passed by both of them, which is going to hinder him just slightly. And they're now going to start thinking about that third place. Rather than catching Alonso Montero, it starts to get a little bit more selfish.
Exactly. It's unfortunate. It's a bit like the first race where Jenson Button or whoever's in that pack would kind of be hoping it's more of a 2-pack rather than a 3-pack, because... 2-pack, yeah. Because they don't they can't work together as easy, and it's a lot more difficult to catch up.
The back markers are going to play a crucial role in these last 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
You could plan your whole race to be second on the final corners to get that slipstream, but if you catch a back marker and the leader gets the slipstream, it's all for nothing. So here we go.
Here we go. Montero is going to go to the inside line to try and take the lead here. But as we've seen before, the outside line has more momentum and Alonso has the slipstream. So now Montero's probably thinking, I really need to get track position here if I'm going to win this Indy 500. There are so many cars ahead. This is about to get a little bit messy, I think.
Yeah, let's hope these guys get out of the way, because this is an incredible battle that's bubbling nicely to the final laps. Button has now dropped back to 3 seconds, so I think it's over for them, for their chance of victory. But yeah, let's hope these guys get out of the way and don't spoil this battle.
Indeed. 1 minute to go. Fernando Alonso leads. Montero about a tenth behind. You can see a little bit of bump drafting has been occurring in this race, despite it not really being allowed. Can Montero get the run that he needs from P2? As we now, I imagine, if we go over the line, we're going to have 2 laps. So it's going to be this one and then one more. Is that right, Tommy?
Oh, it's going to be very close. This might be the final lap, because...
Oh, it is, 35 seconds. They've just gone over the line. It's 39 for a lap. You make a very good point, Tommy. So Alonso leads, Montero behind, 0.6 of a second now. Alonso's getting the slipstream. This could be it. They're 2 cars fighting in front of him. The back markers are going hammer and tong. Alonso now in the slipstream. He's got all the momentum he needs to win this race. Montero's fallen off the back. Fernando Alonso could win the back-to-back.
Unbelievable. From the reverse grid as well. Montero is in his slipstream, but I think it may be too late.
He's nowhere near. Fernando in the slipstream, going towards the line. He's going to win back-to-back Indy 500 from the back of the grid. Fernando Alonso, you are an absolute legend, sir. You have been in a simulator for, 2 weeks, and he has managed to beat everybody twice around the Indianapolis 500. It's been unbelievable to watch. Emerson Fittipaldi is going to finish P10.
Unbelievable. Where did that come from?
I don't know. There must have been some sort of crash at the end of the race there, because we were focusing on the lead, as you would. Wow. Emerson Fittipaldi gets another top 10 finish after getting one at Zandvoort. And wow, Fernando Alonso, gotta say, what a talent. And he very much has got used to the sim racing business a lot quicker than maybe we thought he would after the first couple of races last week.
Exactly, and yeah, we were hoping for Alonso to win Indy, and he's won it twice in a day. Impressive stuff.
Oh my goodness me, I need to lie down now. Thank you everybody for watching. That was, goodness me, I can't believe he won. I can't believe how quickly he got through the field. I hope there's some sort of point of view cam that goes out about Fernando Alonso's drive there, because that was scintillating. Alonso wins from Montero, Castroneves, Jenson Button finishing in 4th in the end. Didn't even manage to win the fight within that pack between Castroneves and Brabham, who finishes in P5. Salo P6, Pirro, Montoya, Turner and Emerson Fittipaldi, your top 10. I mean, that was a fantastic race. I very much enjoyed that one, a little bit more than the first one, because you had the slower guys at the front. It was always going to be carnage. And it also gave a bit more opportunity to the guys that were a little bit slower to fight for some really top positions.
Yeah, exactly. We do love these reverse grid races. It makes the racing, even if we get a bit of a dull first race, the second one is always brilliant. And that was very much that.
An absolute banger. Thank you everybody for watching. We will be back once again. Is it next week, Tommy? I imagine it is.
I imagine it is, yeah, for another championship race. No idea where they're racing, but I'm sure they'll be back in the BT44Bs sliding around. And
that's the beauty, not really knowing what we're going to see for action. But hopefully we get to see a lot of these legendary faces once again next week. Thank you for listening to this WTF1 alternative commentary and for watching the action unfolding for the Indy 500. I've been Matthew Gallagher alongside Tom Bellingham. Tommy, thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Bye.